Hello and welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Long time
This is
no
like
see.
deja vu, isn't it? Right, so first of all, I'm going to say welcome to everyone on these networks that's that's watching today. That's this show's casted on Parapost. It's Temple of Phoenix Rising, the NTV, the Things Network, and the Vibes Network, and also Red Rejects. Welcome everyone. This is the TSP Debate, and today, Leslie, the topic is...
Hello, everybody. Hi to Phil, hi to Gary, hi to Peter, and hi to everyone in chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. And our debate is about manifestations and apparitions. So if you've got anything you want to pop in the chat, feel free to do so. Everybody welcome. Hi to Kirsty. Hope you're all right, Kirsty.
All is good here. All is good.
I'm sharing.
Thanks, Gary. So, Phil, Peter, Gary, what are your experiences on any manifestations or apparitions? What have you experienced?
Go ahead, Peter, if you want.
Okay. Well, quite a lot, really. Quite a lot of explosive ones down the years, and numerous. Being stroked on head, boom, or whatever. It usually when I wake up, when I'm in alpha state, I've often had a lot of people around me, spirits around me, shall I say? And then I've had them, really major big experiences, a few of them, where I've actually seen like full apparitions, or whether they're ghosts or what they are. Always, I'm not always sure. So like
do you always see them? Do you always see them? Sorry, Peter. Do you always see them the same, or do you see them in different forms?
People think you see spirits or ghosts in full apparition, a bit like what we look like, and it's almost like you're looking at a real person. I'm not quite had them like that, but I've had them mostly not far off. You do see it, like it's like when I saw that monk in that pub and it were looking back at me. I won't say it had skin and that, but when I saw that like face looking out of that mirror at me, I suppose in a way it's an apparition, but it were in the reflection of the mirror looking out one way. But that had skin, and stuff. So all different forms of apparition, really. That ghost that chased me out of that graveyard, I don't know what that were. Or what it were, and that monk in that pub, I don't know what that were. I was like thinking, you can't be a regular in this pub. You like monk going up to bar, and I just thought now. So where you come from, loads of experiences. I suppose part of this talk is establishing what an apparition is, isn't it, and that all the different forms. Because if you see one in a mirror, it's still a kind of apparition, or if you see one on a temperature, thermal, you're still seeing a form there. It's not just what you see visually. What I think a lot of people think it is, really.
Yeah, well, before I continue on that one, I'll just, because there's a few people in the background. So, hiya, Charles.
Hiya, Charles from Texas. How you doing?
Hiya, Nigel. Thank you, matey, for sharing.
Nigel.
Hiya, Dorothy. How you doing?
Hi, Dorothy.
There's Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
There's
a Debbie Wallace.
And there's a Debbie. Hiya, Debbie. And there's Michael. There's Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I don't like to say that second one because I don't know whether I'm spelling it wrong and might sound wrong. So, Michael Hall.
Michael Hall. Yeah. Hall. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
As long as that's pronounced right. Right. So all good. Yeah. So apparitions. I mean, it's a funny old game, isn't it? I mean, I'd say probably least convincing part of an apparition is by photos. Wouldn't you agree, Peter?
Yeah.
Because because our today is and mistrust of people putting pictures up these days, you don't know whether that's an apparition or photoshopped. So
no,
it's cruel, isn't it? Because if you have generally got pictures and you send them out there and say it's an apparition,
yeah, you can't ever prove it.
Yeah,
and if it's a personal experience and you say nailed on it, where some people are just got to say, oh, but where's the proof? So like, people aren't open. I got to say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably even also a good reason to, when investigators actually use more than one piece of equipment, hopefully without it interfering the other, to try and back it up. But yeah, I think it's always going to be a struggle in paranormal field when it comes to pictures. Videos are near enough. Video clips are also near enough a borderline to evidence as such for these manifestations, due to the fact that people just say it's been edited. So yeah, what fascinates me about apparitions and manifestations is how much energy it'd probably take as well for that entity to actually show.
Yeah.
Is visual showing takes more energy for an entity than a physical touch. That fascinates me.
Well, but that is in a environment where they may be. I mean, in parapsychology field, if you say what do you think to portals, they'll say, oh, there's no proof that there is portals, so it's something we don't study. You know those that want to get really like deep into it.
Yeah.
But if there is such a thing as portals, where energy can just move a dimension into another dimension, then that might not take so much energy. But what you're talking about, Phil, is if the environment doesn't have anything like a portal, and just like a voice compared to like an apparition, it's got to take more energy for the apparition. But I think a lot of the apparitions may portal in. That's what I think. I don't know if others think that out there, but or yourselves.
Yeah.
So would you say, like, you've got your orbs, then you've got like mists, and then you've got your full bodied apparitions then, or like you're saying, voices or touch? In my mind, I would say it takes more energy to do the full apparition, so to speak, like as in, like, when people see them in solid form. But then I'm wondering, I've often thought, when people say about, because orbs is a tricky subject, isn't it? But I've seen an orb in front of my own eyes without being on camera, and it were a red orb, and it were in a pub cellar, and it just sort of went like that, really slow, and then just disappeared. And I was like, oh my God, what's that? And it freaked me out a little bit because, because I'd seen it with my own eyes and not behind camera. So I was just thinking the other day to myself, I was thinking about orbs. Would you think that's the first sort of manifestation of an apparition, if you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's an hard one. It's orbs. Yeah, it's a killer, isn't it, Peter, when it comes to orbs, I would imagine, because, like you say, it all comes down to when down to nitty gritty of it all. They always say reflections. But one thing that does intrigue me, though, Leslie, is you saw it in a cellar. There's no windows, so you won't get any external interference from reflections of windows down in a cellar. So to me, that's more fascinating. If you saw something in front of your eyes like that coming towards you.
And it moved very slow, and it sort of went down like that, and then just disappeared. It was really interesting. Just say hello, a few more hellos to
Sophie.
Yes, Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Julie. Hi, Indescribable Joy. Hi to Raymond. Hi to Marie. Hi to Robert. Hi to David, and hi to Cliff. Thanks for joining. So I don't know if there's any questions in there, Phil.
Well, there's something there from Michael. I've sensed someone long since passed away watching me whenever I've been out, and also when I have been in the house. I shared quite a few regular posts from the Haunted Liverpool DB, which is a good read. Right. Well, first of all, peeps, if you can, head over at some point to Haunted Liverpool DB, and check out Michael's posts. But yeah,
and
now that's a good one, isn't it? People watching you and then sense people's observing you as such.
And then he goes on about Rodney Street in Liverpool, Michael, which is a good one. Or about portals, a portal to another time. I've read books on Liverpool about that, where people have seen time slips, and they've seen like old carts coming down the road with old business names on, and like they're in a different time period, and and on that very road, I think there's like a shop, and there's a well in shop, middle at shop, because I know we've talked about wells before, haven't we?
Yeah,
and Liverpool's all about water in it, so like it's quite a place, Liverpool, I think.
I love it. Them tunnels, Williamson, tunnels that he created underneath Liverpool. Oh, I went down there. They've discovered more access tunnels as well. The guy were obsessed with tunnels. And other magnificent thing is they were actually creating a civilization down there to a point where there were people getting made, babies and that weren't registered, and they were basically just born to work down there.
Oh, right. Wow.
Crazy. We're like creating another world.
And when was that then, Phil?
If you have a look on Facebook and you look at Williamson Tunnels, Liverpool.
All right.
I think it was like early 18th or 17th century, late 17th century. Yeah, the guy were creating some sort of an empire down there. It was pretty crazy stuff. Please, people, Williamson Tunnels, if you can, search it up. It's worth reading, and stuff they're discovering still today. It's crazy. Michael's come up with a good question. Is shadow people considered apparitions?
I would say so, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, how I see it with shadow people, they don't want you to show you their true identity. Probably for a reason as well, depending on the person that it's trying to communicate with. If they know that it's got a sensitive frequency with them, or if they're an empath, and these shadow people come about, it's good to see a shadow people than some sort of a big ass demigod. So probably shadow people are probably there just to hide their identity, or two, to probably not try to scare you as much, depending on nature of that entity. That is. I mean, what would you think to that, Peter?
Well, I was just thinking the fact that if people see a full apparition, what's like human, obviously they'll probably see skin and hair and just like us. But we're designed this way to live in our world. So maybe a shadow person has never had skin anyway.
Yeah.
They might whatever deep regress they live in. I don't know if they like gin types, whatever. But wherever they dwell, it's okay. Wherever they dwell, maybe they don't need skin and stuff like what we've got, so they just present that way anyway. So
that just takes me back to a post somebody put, commenting on a post last week, I think, and they said that somebody had heard a voice saying that they were dead, but when they were alive, they weren't human. When they would never be, they'd never been human. I don't know if you remember me mentioning it. So I wonder if that could have been something like that. You know, not human.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a good subject because to me, a shadow person is basically something that I think it's either it can't or it don't want to show its identity. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, first of all, Robert Humphries, Parafamily Guy, brilliant. Static Paranormal, please check out, definitely. But yeah.
Drew's on as well. Hiya, Drew.
Hiya, Drew.
Hi, Dawn.
Oh yeah. Oh dear, this StreamYard's not doing me very well today. So yeah, Michael was saying, there's old stars from the past in Liverpool as well as ghostly jesters and ghostly men are in top hats. Those types, Springy Old Jack, even Jack the Ripper was also mentioned. Pretty amazing place. Hiya, Tila. So yeah, Liverpool, amazing history. Have you ever been there, Peter?
No, I've just read up on it. I've been, but not to do paranormal. So, but yeah, with time slips and all that, it just seems very interesting place.
I wonder if that's where its names come from. Then, when you mentioned about Old Waterville, Liverpool.
Yeah, I've just got an interesting one. Hiya, Don. Any of the people within the paranormal have put plenty of effort into finding a physical reason for paranormal experiences. They or others have had, but they use their science to disprove. But we can't take their EMF and temperature readings to use with studies into the paranormal. And as you stated, even photographs are taken less into account as proof. I can understand, but unless they actually encounter it, they won't believe. Well, that is absolutely true. Yeah.
Definitely.
I would say, when I first started out, I wouldn't say I disbelieved, but I were curious, delved into it, and I've encountered things loads, and yeah, and that obviously from then to now, that's me. So yeah, definitely, you can't go wrong, can you, when it comes to physical evidence when you see something in raw. Other than that, yeah, it's going to be hard to try and prove anything. Also, Dongers, I see shadow people as guide or warning of what is to come. Yeah, most likely be. Like I said, there's always good and there's always bad, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's always good, there's always bad.
Have you seen any photos at shadow people, like?
Been a few.
Yeah, with top hats and all that. That's what they were.
No, but I want to encounter a top hat one.
All right.
I've encountered a child shadow person.
Yeah.
Was that at that armory, Leslie?
No, it were in Knutsford.
All right.
At the Eldon pub in Knutsford, and I saw that with my own eyes. I'm like, oh, that's that 1 o'clock in the morning, I think. And I'm like, there's a kid in there. What's kid doing in there? And like landlord's saying, I said, there's a little girl over there. And he says, oh yeah, that'll be so and so. I can't remember if they called it NLA or what, I forgot. you know, the ghost Emily, like, oh God. And you could see this little girl, shadow, like, just playing, and like looking, you know, like looking round. And that was a place where you felt like you were being watched all the time. Hiya, John. Your John's on.
Hey, John.
Hi, Lois.
Hey, John.
Julie also says, does also see spirits and shadow people. John, for instance, back in '98, saw a dark figure. And I can remember John mentioning that. Yeah. While we were in bed, he were looking over to the side and he saw this dark shadow. So yeah, I can remember. Hiya, Cliff and Charles.
Hi, Charles. Hi, Cliff.
Oh, and Louis. I believe. Yeah. So, Gary, have you ever seen any type of shadow people?
I've seen shadow people, but I've also seen like fully people as well. I mean, when that incident when I was a kid, the man sat in the corner, and then when we investigated the graveyard, I saw the child behind the tree, and like I still remember he had like blonde hair, blue eyes, everything.
Yeah.
And I have seen shadow people. I don't know why, but there's one here as well at my flat. But for some reason, I think that's my dad. Because of what it does, because even my mum's even caught it. So I'm not the only one to see it. See the shadow, it's my mum as well. So, and I think that's just my dad, because he wandered around the flat and everything. And I like what you said before, where they don't want to frighten us. And he wasn't the kind of person to do that to us. So. But I always get that feeling of it's him. So, and he's here around me. So yeah. So there you go.
I always say you go with your gut feeling, don't you? You know, if you feel like it's him who's around, most likely will be.
I mean, regarding shadow people, people will read into them and read up what they may or may not be. But a bit like what Gary said, some like human spirits might just take that form through choice or whatever, or I don't know where they made up. So I think you just got to keep an open mind to what everything might not be.
Oh, definitely, yeah. John would actually mention he saw one against a blue curtain and one in an open circle while they were in an open circle. Ooh. Brilliant. Dawn, one by the bed in August 2021. So that I would have thought that would have been near to pandemic time when everyone were in house.
I've had a few near misses, like
near misses.
Yeah. After my dad died, he came in my bedroom and like he just walked in and he went, Pete, and I thought, he's dead. And I went under thing and I went, I'm all right, I'll be all right. I didn't. I was scared and all because it were a ghost and I were young. But it were that clear, his voice. You know, there's a good chance if I'd have looked, I'd have seen him. Like, but I was so young, it'd have just probably terrified me. So I'm glad I didn't on that one. But like years later, this is like going back 3 or 4 years. I woke up, Pete. This is like behind me, Pete, about 20 times, and I'm thinking, there's this guy behind me. I'm thinking, I'm not looking though, because I ain't knackered, and I'm going, what do you want? And then I went, I'm going to sleep. And then when I woke up next morning, I thought, damn, I should have looked. And then, you know, like you do sometimes when you're more in world of living, like. And then I thought, well, I'll try and catch him next night. And I put me trigger app down, and I got one. Pete, I caught him.
You only just got one, Pete.
Just got one, but night before it wouldn't stop. Pete, and I didn't. You know, like it sounded like a Sheffield bloke, but I don't know. To this day, I can't really pin who it were. But
Yeah,
that's another crochet because it was so like you were in room with me. There's a chance if I'd have looked round, I'd have seen him. Yeah, so a couple of near misses.
yeah. I mean, mine weren't that long ago, to be honest. I were in bed, got startled. I woke up, looked to my left, and there was this woman on my bed.
Oh, I know about women on bed, huh?
No, this it's legitimate. No, I didn't not do anything. But yeah, she were holding up a glass. She were holding her glasses, and she went, "Oh, do you like my new glasses?" At first, I'm like, right, I need. Am I dreaming? No, I'm awake. Sorry, I actually picked the glasses from her. I actually felt them. I put them in. Yeah, the nice glasses. Then I give them her back, and I went, I'm going to sleep. I turned that around. I woke up and I thought, right, I know I were awake. Damn shame, I should have really asked some more questions. But
I know, this is it. But I'm worse than you. I'd have just said, bugger off, I'm going back to sleep, I'd have said. You know, so at least you got some
Didn't you know she were, Phil?
No. But I do recently keep getting random people in my room. And it's normally around about 3 in the morning. Bit strange. Always get them. It could be different people. And they've given me the names. I've had 5 minutes. Like, it's always been a maximum between 5-minute conversations, and then they seem to disappear. It's weird. But yeah, that's my craziness. Obviously, my world of craziness. And
I've talked to it before, that woman who's not very pleased with me, and I thought somebody's giving me bloody evil stares here, and straight away I knew it were her. I thought, it's her, I know you. And I turns around and goes, I know who you are. And then, you know, her stares getting more madder at me. And then I thought, I'll smile at her. I smiled at her, and she got intensely mad at that point. And a few months after, I thought, maybe she's died, because I weren't hearing note about her, and I thought, God, she's probably died, and she'd come to see me. And it was like screwing me head up a bit, like, but she's not dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
She's not dead. So she, her living spirit, she must have gone to sleep or something, and it must have took off and thought, I'm heading to give Peter some grief, and she sure did. So that was a manifestation, but I couldn't see her. She were like invisible, but her emotions were going up and down. Yeah, so interesting one.
Have you ever read out since, Peter? Sorry, Gareth.
No.
I read a story on Facebook earlier, and I don't know who posted it, and I'm sure I'll find it again, but there was on about dreams. Actually, when you're dreaming, it's like leaving your body anyway. So
there's actually a bit of science. There's a bit of science, Gary, behind it. When you're actually sleeping, your energy actually is coming away from your body. There's a frequency barrier, and there's more likely that a bit of you is actually coming out. So more likely.
It was interesting when I read it. It was very interesting.
What I might do, Gary, you've pointed a good one out there, is I might actually look for that article for science bit and post it out on TSP, because I found it really interesting. Hopefully other people do as well.
But there's two types, isn't there? There's out-of-body experience and there's the other kind. And I think the out-of-body experience is when it happens naturally. You go to sleep and then it might just, your spirit might just take off. And there's others who kind of can train themselves to do it.
Lucid dreaming.
So there's two different forms, like, you know. Yeah.
Because there's also people that do that remote viewing.
I think your John can do that though, where it's told me before he can control the dream.
John's good at lucid dreaming, but he never really mentions much about it. keeps it kind of to himself. Really, you should do a book or do a show one day about lucid dreaming. But he's good at what John's actually good at is interpreting them as well.
I've got in touch with John in past about my dreams. I've had some weird ones, horrible.
Yeah.
And to the extent where you wake up and you feel absolutely horrendous.
Well, I've had moments. Sorry, lad. Sorry.
And I've messaged John, and it's like, can you tell me what this might mean? And with what he sort of told me, it made me feel so much better, and tried to look at things different.
Yeah.
But yeah, bizarre.
Well, I've had. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Gary.
No, I've had like moments where it's. I don't know how to explain it to people. Where it's like I'm not asleep, but I'm awake at the same time. But it's like somebody literally grabs hold of my throat, and to me, I'm screaming for help.
Yeah, but it's not quite coming out.
Yeah, but it's like a funny like voice that I do apparently, because my uncle actually heard it and ran into the room the other day because he actually heard me going help, and I was literally pinned down like somebody was holding my throat, and I couldn't speak.
Yeah,
I mean,
at
a lot
all.
of people could say that was sleep paralysis, couldn't they, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
I
obviously,
don't
that's gonna be first thing that enters any doctor or whatever else they'll say. It's sleep paralysis, but
Yeah.
I honestly do think that there's more into it than just sleep paralysis. Myself, in my opinion.
But I couldn't move or talk. I couldn't. It's like somebody just grabbed hold of my throat and that was it. And
Have any of your guys, Leslie or Peter, had sleep paralysis experience?
I have. I had it.
No.
I had it in this house, and it was about 2 years ago. And but it weren't a bad experience. It was a bit weird, and I always sleep on my side. But this particular night, I don't know if it was because it was warm. I was like went to sleep on my back, and then I woke up and I could not move. It happened for about 2 minutes, and I weren't frightened, but I just couldn't move. I could not shift my legs, my arms. I was just there. I thought, oh my God. And then it just went. I'm like, oh, what was that? It was really strange. Like I say, it didn't frighten me, but it was weird.
Well, nearest I got to it were other week, but I think it were like a friend of mine's recently died at work, and it was stomach complaint. But it weren't like going to hospital where it were like a bit paranoid, and obviously it didn't work for him that course of action. And anyway, it died, and then in middle at night, someone were like pressing down on my stomach, but not quite pinning me down where I can't move, but I had to really like force up, like, so it was like, halfway, 3/4 way there, and I was feeling this force on my stomach, and then when I went to work, I didn't know what he died of at that point, and then I said to my manager, it weren't his stomach, were it? And she said, yeah, he had a stomach complaint. So I think it were him just coming saying, yeah, this is what's killed me, like. So
wow,
yeah,
right. Night.
Yeah,
terrible story, like, but
yeah.
It's just an experience enough, that, Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, it scared me because I hate not being able to move, so I hate tight spaces, I hate everything, and I just went into complete like panic mode because I'm being restricted to movement, and it's like it was weird. It was like I mean, the room's dark anyway, but this time I had like that light on over there and that light on over there.
Yeah.
And when it happened to me, the room was still black.
Yeah.
And it was like I wasn't here in this room. Someone was just choking me.
And I think when, like Gary said, when you when you're in them moments of something quite horrific like that happening, you're in this alpha state. I think that if you're really tired at time and you open your eyes and it's like middle at night, I reckon that alpha state you're in, it goes on for quite a long time. So an experience like that, it'll just go on for ages, like. And it was like him who was going, Pete, Pete. You know, if I didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to sleep," and shut my eyes and went like that, it'd have still been there for, you know, next 10 minutes while I were in alpha state trying to stay awake. You know, so it can be quite horrific, can't it? And you're there a long time in it.
Definitely.
Just gonna say a few more hellos. Hi to Matt Barron, and hello to Carl Ned. Hi, Carl.
I know.
Yeah, definitely. Charles Rudd would say, "I've seen spirit like a real person." Dawn, the one I've seen was my husband at my husband's bedside, and it actually looked like it was looking over him. Before I actually carry on that one, has anyone had where they've actually seen someone hovering over them? It's been crazy. I've had 1 or 2 private cases recently, and they've all mentioned that they've had like a spirit look over them, directly at them. Like over
You hear that a lot in hauntings, don't you? I've heard it a lot, that, you know, in specific. Well, I'm not saying they're all hauntings, but in where people think they're haunted, they always talk about someone hovering over them.
It's crazy. So, Michael, big one. I still have the same thought that there's every possibility we could all be dead, and we don't realise it, as ghosts don't realise they are dead, and they keep on living in the spirit world. I often still think that us, what if we all dead and we don't realise it? What if the ghosts we will see or hear are actually alive, but we are the ghosts?
That's interesting.
It's a bit like that Matrix thing, isn't it? If we're plugged in and
a big shared dream.
Yeah.
Especially when we look in mirrors as well. Sorry, lad, again.
All right, you know what I've started doing lately, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I heard somebody talking about it or what, but when I'm walking around and that, and it's like at that Forge of the Dayful where we went, and I was looking around at people, and I did think, if they're dead, and I've started doing it a lot, thinking, well, how do I know that that's not a spirit and that that's somebody alive?
That's interesting.
Well, be onto something there.
That's it. I mean, I do believe that there's observers, whether the observers that are a human or not, or sentient beings or whatever else.
Aliens amongst us. Right.
Yeah.
You might not be one, but they still might be out there.
Yeah. Or there might be another subhuman species that's somehow communicating and able to view you, you know, and you're seeing it as something. It's crazy paranormal with it.
Just in answer to Carl's question, Paul, the topic is apparitions and manifestations tonight.
Yeah, it always somehow gets chucked in with different other things, but yeah.
Yeah. You always go off on a tangent.
So, Dawn, I can awake myself during a dream, but would love to know more about controlling them. I know I have dreams that have come to pass. All right. Well, funny thing is, do you know when I first were getting some of these apparitions that I get woke up to, or if I know that I'm off asleep and off in a dream, I've always tried my best not to panic or to be scared, because I always automatically think if you get off that type of feeling, they're not going to want to communicate with you and they'll pull away. So what I've always tried to do is determine when I see anything or go into off asleep where I'm either dreaming or not, is try not to panic and just ask questions. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's kind of built on to the point where I wake up in reality and I'm seeing something there.
But I mean, I'm never scared and I never panic. But I think what I do is I think it always takes over. Oh, I'm tired. I've just woke up. I'm going back to sleep. And me, all these times when I say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, it never kicks in now. I just find myself dealing with situation at time and going, oh, I'm going back to sleep. You know, instead of like ever learning from times before. I'd like to one day just wake up and think, right, I've got to do it this way. I've got to stay awake. I've got to ask questions. I've got to turn around and look at them. You know, one day I might do that, but it's not happening.
Yeah, like Don, also Don was saying, you know, keep a dream journal. Would help. Definitely do, because I've actually kept a dream journal, and it does
I want to start doing that.
Even to a point, I would actually, do you know, let's say I've wrote something on a notepad and I've forgotten, I've put it down somewhere. Let's say in about a year or 2 years' time, I've probably come across it and I'm thinking, what the hell have I been dreaming about?
I want to start doing that because my dreams just don't make sense anymore. So
yeah, and the more obscure and weird it is, I think it's more exciting.
You might find a connection between them, might you? So if you try and connect them. I once woke up. No, I went in a dream, and I'm like saying this language that isn't today's language. I like went and I like spoke this few words, and I thought I know them words. Part of me were like saying I know them words, but as soon as I woke up, I was going to write these words down, but it left my mind. You know, like when dreams leave you, and but in the dream, I thought I know these words, and it were a language what we don't know today. So,
oh man, brilliant! I love dreams, but I don't really experience that many dreams, to be honest. Well, it's not experiencing; it's just remembering them. I guess that's why.
That's difficult.
So it's I'm awkward. I see more than I do dream. It's weird.
Yeah. But they're manifestations, but in dreams. So even though we seem to be drifting off topic, it's still manifestation in dreams. Yeah.
Apparently, your loved ones do come to you in your dreams. You know, people you've lost. So I've seen my family many times when I've been upset, or they've always come to me.
Well, they're more realistic dreams, I think, when they're spiritual. My mum came after she died same year, and God, it were right real, and I just thought, I thought she's here again, you know, and we're back together. And then I woke up and I thought, what day is it? And it was my birthday. So she came on my birthday. Only I can forget my birthday, believe you me.
Mad, isn't it? There's a comment from Colin. I don't know if you see it, Phil.
Yeah, I would actually. I think on your end, Leslie, you can actually pop that on. You just put show.
I just what?
Press show. I think if you've got that capability on your end.
No.
No. Right. No. Sorry. I'll sort it.
That's it. That's the one.
Cool. Where my ex-wife lives from time to time in the garden, an elderly woman dressed in white with a large white summer hat has been seen by my ex and even her sister. That a police officer who is 200% skeptic. Ooh.
Wow.
I like it when someone of the uniform experiences something, because you know it's it's someone of authority, isn't it? And if they're experienced stuff like that, it gets reported, and it's good that they've seen that. Yeah.
Sorry, Lyle, go on.
When me and you and your John went to see Forge the other day, that chap who was chatting with us still said when he saw that carriage come pull up. Thing, remember? And he said it were in snow, and he saw this. I don't know. Was it? I think it were in. And him and these other people saw this carriage pull up. Were it a horse carriage? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a carriage. It was a carriage. Yeah.
And they pulled up, and they were saying, "Oh, what's that? Oh, is it that?" Anyway, a bit after they went up to where it were, it had disappeared, and there was absolutely no tracks in the snow or anything.
No, right. I mean, actually, we have got something going on for Wortley Top Forge, haven't we, Leslie?
We have. We've got a nighttime invest there.
Is that the place you went to the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did watch the live.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so good. It's such a brilliant location. It's massive.
It did look very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
can't wait.
there also reported apparition of sorts on top of the stairs in cottage area, and
yeah, the white lady.
Yeah, the white lady as such. So yeah, can't wait to go and and investigate for definite.
I was thinking about the white ladies when we were on one about manifestations and all these white ladies. But then I was thinking maybe people wore a lot of white dresses in them days. What do you think of that?
Interesting.
Just to it's not all the same. It's not the. I don't think it's all the one white lady doing countless outings. I just think a lot of people wore white dresses, so the class is the white lady, aren't they?
Yeah. Also, you said that though. There's also like the dark ladies as well, isn't it? So maybe.
But they don't. Nobody says, "Oh, the dark lady," do they? They're not classed the same way as the white lady.
No.
You usually hear white lady, don't you? Or grey lady. White lady.
The grey lady. Sorry, my bad. Wake up, Gary. No.
Yeah, grey lady. I mean, then you've got to think of, well, there could be a black lady. It's just you can't obviously see it due to the spectrum of light.
Or maybe if they
sorry, would that come under a shadow person?
Interesting.
Or maybe like if they wore like a light green dress, and maybe they can only manifest kind of like black and white in a way. So like a light green dress is got to look white, isn't it?
Yeah. It's so complex to know that we obviously haven't got that explanation in a scientific term. But if you've got black walls, are you going to see a shadow man or a shadow figure? Because it's black, it's dark.
Yeah.
So, which comes to question, there might be things in darkness that we weren't able to see without it being highlighted. You never know.
Yeah. I once shut my eyes and I thought there were a spirit in the room, and my eyes were obviously dark when I had them shut, but I could see it pass. It were like darker than the dark.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Whatever the darkness is, they might be able to go a notch darker. You know how they say black's not a color and that, but we're talking about shades and that. Maybe they can go a notch or two darker. And so I don't know.
I was chatting to a medium lady yesterday, and she was saying that when she sees spirit, what did she call it? Excuse me. They look like they've got the ready break glow. Remember that old advert?
Yeah.
Like an aura sort of thing round them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which I thought were interesting.
Yeah, people. Yeah, it's what maybe our people perceive everything different, don't they, through their own.
Yeah, everyone's got different abilities.
Perceptions. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people what can see people's auras within an instant. Yeah. Some people's got to concentrate a little bit, but yeah, it's amazing. Michael, I have dreamed of people who have died. My best friend, mate Ron, who sadly died in 2019. He visited me a few times in my dreams. I also saw the Firefly Funhouse in my dreams, and that also came true. Okay. All right. It's sad about your mate, Ron, Michael. Bless him.
The first bit, yes, Michael. The second bit, no, mate. I know what he's on about. No. No. First bit, I'm sorry, Michael, but no. The second bit, no.
I ain't got a clue what you were going to ask.
I don't.
No, I'm not going to ask. Since 2016, she only had been around 6 times in total, but never in tracks. So possibly she as a residual.
Yeah.
Been seen around 6 times in total.
Yeah.
Yeah. Energy.
She always seen it same spot, Carl?
Yeah. Is it same spot, same thing, or yeah?
Yeah, like on a time loop sort of
On a
thing.
time loop, like stone tape theory.
Yeah.
But the carriage, that could have been a time slip too, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think it fascinates me, when you hear about people seeing ghosts, or you see a ghost with your own eyes and you can explain it. That's something that's lived, and you can understand the spirit and the soul aspects of it. But when you hear about, someone seeing a Lancaster bomber a ghost of a Lancaster bomber going over Peak District, you think, wait, it's only metal. What's going on?
I'm gonna tell you a story now. I live in Stocksbridge, and over years there's been reportings of aircraft ghost planes going over, and I thought, what a load of rubbish. And first year I moved here, I were in bed, and it must have been 3 in the morning. Obviously it was so quiet, and I got woke up by this. It sounded like a plane, but like one of them old-fashioned low-flying, like a bit like a Lancaster bomber sort of droning noise. It was like that. And I thought, what's that? So I got up, looked out at window, nothing anywhere. And later on, a few days later, there were an article in the paper about people had heard this plane, but nobody could see anything.
Oh,
it was
wow.
really weird.
Yeah, but
really weird.
And then they thought it sounded like Lancaster then, did they? Yeah.
Yeah. Because they've got like a certain sound, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, really weird it was.
Magnificent plane, yeah. They have got a unique sound to them, yeah.
But I'd put that down to a time slip, because it's up in the air, like stone tape theory about things leaving brickwork and releasing energy. Up there in clouds, it's like, where's it being released from? So
could it be trapped, like you said?
Yeah, maybe it's like a time slip.
That's what I was about to say. Don't they say like some still live in that moment of what they were doing at the time they died, maybe, or it keeps replaying and replaying, and then sometimes you can pick up on it. Is that what you meant, Peter? Sorry.
No, a time slip. It's like what's going on in Liverpool, and people can't ever put the finger on it. These people, they've gone into a shop in Liverpool, right, and then come out, and they're in like a 1930s street, and they're looking round, and everyone's got 30s gear on, and something's coming out road, and it's got an old business name on it, and then suddenly, it all goes foggy, and they're back in real world, and then when they've looked up them names, the real businesses that existed in 30s, so in that moment they were in a time slip where time weren't doing what it should do, and that's what I mean. Up there in clouds, there might be some kind of, something where like an error, and it's just caused like an error in time, and that's where we see these Lancaster bombers and things like that.
So there's a big possibility, Peter. Yeah, definitely. But there's also that, let's say, there was a certain part in time where there were some dramatic happened, and that type of dramatic scene keeps on going.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I mean, I've had that. I've heard and seen one also. Coningsby Viaduct in Doncaster area, Coningsby area. Yeah. Me and our John, years and years ago, we were investigating Cadby Tunnel, because it's about a 2-minute walk from there to where Viaduct is. And it was in 2005, there were an incident where a woman got chucked off there. She was murdered. She got attacked and chucked off. Sadly died. When we were there, I think it was around about 2015. We were actually near that viaduct, and we heard the most horrific scream from top all the way down to the bottom.
Wow. Yeah.
we obviously dashed over because we thought it were real. We were going to get ready to phone, 999 and get someone out. Our hearts were racing at that time because we thought, bloody hell, someone's either been chucked off or they've jumped off. Anyway, we marched down because we weren't that far, we were about 2 minutes away. Absolutely nothing.
But the thing is, how did the recreation happen? Were it coming out at brickwork at Bridge or local environment? There's things on ground there, but like whereas you see a ghost plane, or maybe differently a ghost shape, you've got totally different environments there. So what's working with these different environments? What's working there? I don't know. It's
it's interesting and like you said, Leslie, it's mind blowing. But it absolutely shook us up because we at that time thought someone jumped off at bloody bridge, and it's massive. So but there were also history actually also with that bridge. Back in like 1800s, near that time, there were people who's been murdered, had their throat slit, chucked in the canal port. So
Well, what you just said there, there might have been like multiple deaths and suicides, and sometimes you get these bridges that attract. Well, once it's happened a lot, it attracts the same thing to happen again.
Well, yeah.
When you hear about people who lived in an unlucky house, and then everyone who goes in it, that house is unlucky. It's unlucky for everyone because that kind of bad energy kind of attracts people in, and it weighs that same kind of energy on them. And it might be the same there with that bridge. So that scream could have been anyone. Build up. Re-release.
What you're saying is probably about right. I mean, look at Amityville House. There were a string of families, weren't there, that lived in the house and had exactly the same death from it. Could have manifested an entity, so that when a person owns that building, exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No.
Sadly, it's coming up to our peeps. So, Michael, I were actually saying Disney World apparently has had numerous ghost hauntings, including Mr. Walt Disney himself.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, I have.
It was caught on CCTV as well, wasn't it? Apparently, he was caught on CCTV, Mr. Walt Disney.
I don't know, but I have heard about that.
Wow.
They were that famous one with Michael Jackson, weren't they?
Nevermind.
Going from room to room, like
Hi to. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced this. Is it Neve? Neve Walker? Apologies if I'm.
Nevaeh. Is it
Nevaeh?
Neve. I do apologise anyway. Hi.
Hello. Hope you're okay. Oh, right. So, yes, sadly we're coming up to our Carl was saying no, the Walt Disney CCTV, a former employee said that it had as a prank and it's not real.
Oh, okay.
That's
all right.
It's good that things has been resolved, but like you say, all these areas though, they've got history, and there's always going to be where there could be a sighting due to it. So you can never. It's good. So, Leslie, have you got anything else that you want to add before we finish?
No, not really. It's been a quick one. It's flown.
It has indeed.
But we're off out on 27th. Now, whether we can go live, Phil, because when I tried the other day, it were a bit of a nightmare, weren't it? Especially in little cottages. As soon
Yeah,
as
I think
the signal just went.
I think we could probably do a little bit of a live before we do some footage.
Yeah.
Just say hi to people, get an update.
Yeah.
Try his best to see what we can see. But that's best we could probably do. Like you said, the actual.
When we were going inside, it would just.
Yeah.
Just kept
There's a
going.
lot of stone. There's a lot of stone, so and metal. So it's like a Faraday cage, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll try his best anyway. So that'll be on 27th of May. That's right. Yeah. So in a couple of weeks. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
right. Well.
So thanks everybody for coming in. Thanks Gary. Thanks Peter.
You're welcome.
Welcome all. And, thanks everyone in.
Yeah. Thanks everybody in
Thank
chat.
you, everybody.
And hopefully we might be going live more or less every Wednesday. Oh, we'll have to see how it goes. So we're not doing them on Saturdays anymore because everybody's a bit busy on Saturdays. So Wednesdays probably, guys, now. So yeah, thanks for joining us and take care. And we'll
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.